right, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of SideQuest Podcast. Listen in and level up. I have a great episode for you today, but first, as always, let's get through the show notes. If you're not following the Facebook page, head over to Facebook, type SideQuest Fitness into the search bar, and like the page. There, you're going to get updates on podcast episodes, articles when they get posted, and you're going to get a brand new taco recipe every Tuesday for Taco Camp. Plus lots of other shenanigans and nerd talk throughout the week, so make sure you head over to Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram. My handle is SideQuestFM. If you want to see some cool videos and random stuff on Instagram as well, you can follow me on Instagram, same handle, SideQuestFM, or follow me on Snapchat, SideQuestFit. Follow me there. Send me your questions. I want to get all the questions from you, help you as much as I can on your fitness journey or your journey in life, whatever it may be. But head over to Snapchat, SideQuestFit. Follow me there. You get a little more personal, in-depth look at the shenanigans I get into throughout every day. But I do love getting questions from the community, so please send them out to me. If you have not left a review for the podcast, please head over to iTunes. If you're not listening on iTunes and you listen on SoundCloud or Stitcher, leave a review there as well. When you leave reviews, it helps me move up the charts on the iTunes store so that more people can see and hear the amazing guests that I've had on and have on each and every single week. So make sure you head over there. And don't forget, if you haven't picked up your copy of the 7 Principles of Fat Loss, head over to sidequestfitness.com/7 principles, and you can pick up your copy of the 7 Principles of Fat Loss. These are the same 7 principles I follow each and every day and teach my clients to help them shred away more body fat, unlock heroic strength, and just look better naked. So if you want to unlock strength or just look better naked in the mirror, head over again, grab those 7 principles of fat loss, and start following those today. What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. So over the last few months, you have heard me talking about my online clients, and you've heard from a few of my online clients as well about what they've done on their fitness quest with me. With summer heading in, I am taking a few more clients on to help people get ready for summer, help you get ready for bikini season or swimsuit season, or maybe this is your first time. Maybe you've decided that that's it. You want to get in shape, and you need someone to help you with your journey. On your journey, you need a Gandalf and a Samwise to guide you as you head into Frodo. And I am your Gandalf and Samwise, all packed in to one. I am taking on a few more clients. If you are interested, head over to sidequestfitness.com/coach and check out the page. You can apply there. You can find out more about what coaching entails and also see some of the amazing transformations that my clients have had while working with me. So head over to sidequestfitness.com/coach and apply today. All right, guys, I have a great show for you today. We're going to talk a little about practice. Practice? Practice? We're talking about practice. If you know the reference that I just made, you win awesome points, and you should totally tweet to me at Twitter, SideQuestFM on Twitter, and let me know. But we're going to talk a little bit about practice and why it's important.
Step up and you gotta get it fitness. Host Rob at the moment and the quest is you gotta check it and wreck it. You're breaking personal records, and with the help of the guests you won't be guessing on the lessons. That's a +5 fierce. Got a low-key bamf right here. You wanna meet him, there's no better way to greet him than to strike a boss pose. Take a look into the mirror.
I felt no pain at first. Not until I saw the amalgamation of blood, dirt, and sweat did I feel the searing sensation surge. As the haze in my mind cleared, I realized what had happened. I had fallen. Again. Lying in the dirt, before my brain recognized the pain, my mind began to replay the seconds leading up to my crash. Everything had proceeded as planned. I was balanced, pointed straight, moving towards my goal. So why had this happened again? As this question cascaded through my mind, I heard the grumbly timbre of my dad's voice. And his booming bass only fanned the anger building in my blood, stoking it to its boiling point. He didn't think I heard him, so he repeated the most infamous words a father can speak to his son. Words that are spoken by every father as they attempt to teach their kid how to ride a bike. It takes practice. Smudged with dirt and gushing blood, my knees looked like a scene from a Tarantino film, and my dad had the gall to mention the word practice. But bloody and scabbed knees weren't going to stop my father from pouring his salty fatherly wisdom into my open wounds. It's okay, Robbie. Practice makes perfect. No, Dad, fuck practice. I should be good at this now. And isn't that what we all want, though? To be good at what we're doing now, not later? My childhood idol, like many, many young men growing up in the early 90s, was Michael Jordan. But he understood something about practice that I didn't. Practice makes you more proficient. To quote Michael, get the fundamentals down, and the level of everything you do will rise. The more proficient you are at a task or a movement in the gym, the more automatic it becomes. And when it comes to anything at all in life, be it lifting weights, be it getting better at your nutrition, tracking your nutrition, whatever you're trying to do, the more you practice, the better you'll become. And that's really what the idea of sets and reps are in the gym. It's practice. Now, you might get better one week from the next. You may lift more one week than you did the previous week. But all of those reps, everything you're doing is practicing that form, getting more proficient at lifting the weight, because that's what your body is doing. It's getting more proficient every single time. But that also applies to nutrition. So many times we beat ourselves up because we're not perfect. We're not. We get mad at ourselves because we thought that we could totally be perfect and nail this diet and we'd all be okay. And then you're not. And you get upset with yourself. You get mad at yourself. You tell yourself, I'm a failure. I can't do this. Why should I even try? Fuck it. And it happens in the gym. Miss a workout, a couple of days, 3 days, maybe a week. And you think, you know what? I can't do this. I can't do it. I'm not perfect. I just don't even want to try. Failure sucks. But it happens to everyone. No matter what you're doing. But the more you practice something, the better you get at it. When you start any endeavor, you're not very good. Unless you happen to be some weird savant, which is completely and utterly rare. The majority of us, when we start something that we've never done, we're going to suck, and that's okay. Because here's the thing. Michael Jordan sucked. Michael Jordan didn't make his JV team. By the way, bet you didn't know this, in the state of North Carolina, when Michael Jordan graduated high school, he was not the high school player of the year. Nope. That went to another one of his classmates who joined him at North Carolina, Buzz Peterson, who later became a very close friend and now has worked for Mike with the Charlotte Hornets. But the greatest of all time wasn't the greatest in high school. Now, he was really good. But you would think if he's the GOAT, like he's getting all those awards. Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady was laughed at as a NFL quarterback coming out of college. But he knew. He knew if he put in the work, if he put in the reps, he could be great. I hated practice as a kid. I will be honest. Who didn't hate practice? I mean, really. You want to scrimmage. You want to play. Coach, we don't want to practice. We don't want to do it. I don't want to do it at all. I hear the same things all the time with clients. And you say the same things to yourself. God, I really don't want to track this. I really don't want to do this. And then you wonder why you never get better at the thing you want to be better at, because you don't put in the practice. You don't get more proficient. Picasso made great paintings, and there's this really awesome story where a woman asked him for a painting, and he painted something or drew something on a napkin and said like $45,000. That's what it's going to be. She was like, "Oh my God, why would this cost $45,000?" And the moral of the story is that he basically says, "Look, everything that I did up to this led to this point. Like, it led to this greatness. Everything I did." And that's what it is when it comes to fitness. Like, you see the after picture and a before and after, but no one tells you the story in the middle. You think that it's just going to be, oh, I just do this workout, I do that, and then I'm done. That's not really the case. There's months of practice and getting more proficient at working out, getting more proficient at getting better at hitting your calories, staying to the diet, sticking to what you know you should do. That's what practice is all about. I know the idea of practice sucks, but that's really what you're doing every day. You're practicing to get better. But I want to leave you with something that I know I've said before, and I just want to reiterate it again. So last year, I set a goal for myself to read more. Now, it's a very vague goal. I could have done the smart thing, specific, measurable, actionable, reason-bound, and time-constrained. I can go over smart goals later, but that's how you would create a goal that makes sense, that you can stick to. You know, I've never been much of a big reader. You know, I've always been a visual learner. I can watch something and usually pick it up. My mind is really best when it's being stimulated, not so much when it's reading and having to sit in silence. That's why I love video games. You know, I'm a natural problem solver when I have the problem to look at and draw out and figure out. But Tanner Bays told me last year that if I wanted to be a better writer, I needed to read more. So I Googled how to read more. Thousands of articles. Tons of things I could look at. But speed reading wasn't something I wanted to do. I wanted to enjoy the book. I wanted to get into the book. I didn't just want to read for the speed. So I had to give myself a rule that every single day, no matter what, I was going to practice reading by reading. Really, what I was doing was this. If I looked at every single person that I admired as readers and what they did, they read every day. And I wanted to be there. I wanted to be well read. I wanted to have that. I wanted to be where they were. I had to practice where I wanted to be. If you look at someone who you admire in weight loss, even if you look at me and you're like, man, Robbie, you've had a great transformation. I really love that you turned your life around. You've done this. Look at the things that I did to get to where I am. And the things that I do every single day, working out, sticking to my nutrition, eating protein, lean vegetables, staying within my calories. Look at the things that I do. Look at what those people you look up to do. And practice where they are. Practice where you want to be. You want to be there. What are the things they do? They work out, they're active, they eat the right foods, they're consistent. Nail those 4 things and you will get to where you want to be. But that's what practice is. That's what putting the reps in is. That's what recording your nutrition is. That's what tracking your nutrition is doing. It's you practicing where you want to be. That's the key when it comes to success with fat loss, muscle gain, or anything. Practice where you want to be. So that's what I did with reading. For a year, I did nothing but read every single day. And I mean, I have friends that are vivacious readers. I mean, they go through 5, 6, 7 books a month. And I could have let those barriers freak me out. I could have been like, you know what? I got to read 5 books a month. I got to read 5 books. I didn't give myself that. I didn't give myself a number because 2 things. I knew, one, if I gave myself a number, I'm going to read 20 books in 2016. I knew if I gave myself that goal, if I reached 20 books, I would stop. I wouldn't keep reading. I would just stop. I want to lose 10 pounds. You lose 10 pounds, then what do? You go right back to the things that you did before and you put more weight back on. So I practiced where I wanted to be. I read every day, and I read nearly 30 books last year. I have an article up on the website if you want to check it out. I'll have it in the show notes for this as well. But I read almost 30 books last year. And I didn't give myself a number because I knew I would quit halfway through. But I also knew that if I gave myself a number, I would half-ass it and not actually get to where I wanted to be. Because I was like, oh, I got 20 books. I'm like 10 books in. I'm halfway there in May. I'm good. I don't have to read as much. And then come November, I would have slacked off and I would have thrown myself in a corner trying to finish 20 books and freaked myself out and stressed myself out trying to reach that goal. But if you practice where you want to be every single day, that goal that you want will come a lot easier and a lot less stressful. But here's the thing. To become more proficient, you have to put in the practice. You got to do it every day. Practice where you want to be. And I became a bit more well-read than I was a year before. So whatever your goal may be, I want you to think about that. The people that you look up to, what do they do every day? How can you improve every day? What can you practice today that person practices every single day? And it could be one thing. Don't start with 5 or 6 things. Start with one thing. Because if I had started with, I'm going to read a book a week, it would have never happened. If I would have started with, I want to read 2 books a month, it might have happened, it might not. But if I hadn't read that second book, I would have got down on myself and said I was a failure. But taking the art of practicing where I wanted to be, which was to be more well-read. What do well-read people do? They read every day. By reading every day, I got to the goal and finished almost 30 books. And now in the first month of 2017, I finished 5. Now, they were rather short. They weren't The Name of the Wind or A Wise Man's Fear, which are really long. They were pretty short, so I got through them pretty quickly. But when it comes to your goals, it's not about the end, guys. It's about the process. Yes, the end is great, but everything you're going to learn about yourself is in the process. And for me, learning how to ride a bike, improving my skills as a reader, or I guess improving my skills as a bike rider, came from putting in the reps. Came from practicing where I wanted to be. Lance Armstrong didn't hop on a bike and just become great by hopping on a bike. He practiced every day and got better. So whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, I want you to think about that. Practice where you want to be. Find 1 or 2 things that people that you admire do every single day. And practice what is the most simplistic thing that they do in your life every single day. And you will get to where you want to be. All right, guys, that's the episode. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have questions, reach out to me, sidequestfitness@gmail.com. Now get out there and kick ass at life.
Step up and you gotta get it fitness. Host Rob at the moment and the quest is you gotta check it and wreck it. You're breaking personal records and with the help of the guests you won't be guessing on the lessons. That's a +5 fierce. Got a low-key band right here. You wanna meet him, there's no better way to greet him than to strike a boss pose. Take a look into the mirror.